As a child, weekends were packed to the rafters, loud, boisterous, full of fun. I sat at the window on every Sunday night and I watched my parents drive away as they took my 4 eldest brothers back to boarding school. And I felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness. A few decades later, I felt that same lonely feeling. I wondered, how can one feel so alone when one being with someone, then being alone? Oliver and I had been happily married for 22 years, but we drifted apart, feeling disconnected and unable to communicate. In mid-2014, Oliver was diagnosed with depression. 3 million people in Australia are living with anxiety and depression. We weren't alone, and we battled through day by day. His counsellor said, exercise is a great way to fight depression. I started to think, how can I help Oliver get active? I found my answer after seeing a presentation by Peter Baines, a former policeman. He told us how his team worked on identifying 3,500 victims from the 2004 tsunami in Thailand and the charity he had founded. And then there were the children that lost their parents. I imagined how lonely and vulnerable they must have felt in the days after the devastation. With a heart over mind decision, I put my hand up to cycle 500 k's from Bangkok to Khao Lak for the Peter's charity Hands Across the Water. What was I thinking? I hadn't cycled in years. I didn't even own a bike. All this while fundraising, keeping my business afloat and my family together. One thing I knew is that cycling was Oliver's passion. I had to find a way to connect, and something had to change. On the 21st of February, on Oliver's birthday, we met our 44 fellow riders in Bangkok. The first day we set off at the crack of dawn and we rode 127 kilometres in 44 degrees heat, headwinds and humidity. We learned to look out for potholes, cows, dogs, trucks, motorbikes, elephants. We learned that you can actually drink 10 litres of water a day and that butt cream is essential. 5 days and 500 k's later, we reached Khao Lak, stopping at the temple to quietly think about the devastation of that fateful Boxing Day. I also reflected on my own family. It was then that we were escorted by the Thai police to the orphanage. The kids lined the road with their hands stretched out as we high-fived them as we rode in. We felt an overwhelming rush of emotions when we saw the long row of smiling, happy faces. We returned home, hearts and heads full of memories and learnings. Collectively, our team raised $300,000 for the development of the new orphanage. But what about Oliver, me, and our family? Oliver is back on his bike. Our marriage and our family is back on track. And butt cream works. So what did I learn? I learned that action and activity is the antidote to loneliness. I also learned that you, me, everyone can create change in their lives by taking action.